Hi, welcome back, and I'm guessing we all have similar situation in our workshop. We all have almost empty paint of cans. Now, I used to have all the range of colors. I used to do a lot of sort of like breakfast bowl, but with the painted exterior, and I'll put on the screen the picture if I could find it. And this is what I've left today, and like I said, all of these are pretty much empty, and so it's not for the entire bowl, but we're going to repurpose all of these in a little bit of artistic way, let's say. So we're going to give this a little different approach, and let me just get this out of the way for a minute. Now you're going to have to be a little patient while we turn this maple blank, the exterior, and then we're going to use the paint for the top here. Here 3-in-1 screw chuck, and we're just going to fit this on. Just tighten it by hand. Okay, so the blank is now on the lathe, and the next step is to shape the outside, finish it, and then we're going to flip it around. Now, like I said, you have to be just a little bit patient until we process the outside, and then we're going to use the paint, and it will be quite a mess, as you'll see quite soon. So this will be running at around 1600 RPM, spindle gouge. Through the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to put this on a biggest diameter chuck that I have. Doesn't matter that the foot is a little bit smaller. Like I said, this will be more of a platter than plate. Okay, something like this. So this is Tomasic Refiner, my first prototype signature tool. Now the next step in creating a nice perfect ogee for this size blank is divide this surface from your foot to the outside diameter into thirds. So 1, 2, 3 thirds. And here from the top edge, make a, let's say, 6 mil line or mark. And now what you want to do is from this 1/3 line here to this line here, make a straight cut connecting the 2 points. You can use your tool rest and get these 2 points roughly the same distance from the tool rest, and now just use the wing of the gouge. A little bit more. So that's straight line connecting these 2 points. So the next stage is, the next step is, this is the middle point here. So I want on this profile here of this size, let's say beneath this point 4 or 5 mil, make a nice flowing curve. And the reason I'm going now against the grain instead of this way, I can better gauge the process here at the horizon, so I can gauge the curve I'm getting here. Now if I place the ruler here, you can see nice distance here. It's roughly 4 to 5 mil, which will be plenty for this size bowl. And now the next step is divide this surface from the bottom of your foot to this line in half. So that will be just somewhere around here. And now just connecting the dots from here to here, make a nice outside curve. So again, using the wing of the gouge. And I'll actually show you here on the horizon up here. So if you watch here, you can already see how the shape is developing. Now just blend outside curve to this inside, and now you have perfect OG here. So the way I like to approach and finessing this curve is using my refiner scraper, just a light touch, and I'm just blending the curve, getting really nice powder of dust. And you can use it as a shear scraper, so tilt it up on its side. Just want to see the surface. I still have a little bit of tear out here, not sure if you can see it, but the rest of it is actually quite good. So only this area here needs a little bit more attention. So here from the foot I'll use it flat, so nice and gently. Once I'm away from the foot, I can now tilt it up on its side. Again, using scraper to dish it out a little bit. With this part here, do whatever you want to do. I always like to be a little bit more, how should I say this, more involved in terms of details. So maybe bigger button like this, and let's make smaller bead like this. And now from this part here, angle it in, and that should be nicely clean. And yeah, that's pretty good. Really nice. Okay, so this is now off the screw chuck, and this will go on a step jaws here. So just grab it lightly. Now first step is to just remove this uneven portion. I'll use a scraper for this. So that's nice and smooth, and now this will have what I like to call useless rim. So pretty wide rim, almost like this, and then small ball part here, so small hollow. But still I want to get some of the shape here a little bit. So again, I'm using scraper and I'm supporting the back of the bowl. shavings flying everywhere, so that's nice and smooth. And get this a little bit in. Really nice light touch, and I want this surface to be level with this portion here. So again, using scraper. And you'll see why I need this. So I have here a little plug, and it's rough, it's not like perfect, but it doesn't have to be, so all I want to do is plug this hole a little bit. Okay, so the sanding is done, and just before we use the paint, I'm going to protect the bottom here using the tape, and that way we don't get overspray on the bottom, which is already finished. Okay, so now we are ready for the paint. So the face here, the rim is sanded. I don't mind this portion here. You can see here I protected the lathe as well, so any overspray doesn't obviously contain the lathe, which is, this paint is a little bit hard to clean up later. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually put a little, not sure, black or silver base. Let's go with the silver on this one. Turn on the lathe slowly for this first step. Okay, doesn't look too bad. A little bit more at the rim here. So you can see a little bit darker in the middle, and then sort of splays out a little bit as we go further out. And now we can play around with the color. So what you can do is, let's go with this turquoise or shade of blue, red and yellow for the first one. So mix those up, turn on the lathe slowly, and just in the middle spray like this bead or pool. So the yellow as well and the red one. And now crank the speed up. Make sure you stay away from the line of fire. And I should bring the controller to this side. So you can see what's happening. We get a lovely burst on the outside, like a sunburst. So that doesn't look too bad. So, but the yellow is sort of lost, so let's do the yellow only. So pull it in the middle and turn on the lathe. And you can do it while it's running as well. And that's a little better. So let's introduce some other colors. Let's go with black, and then we'll finish off with a little bit brighter colors. And let's go with red one more time. Let's see the effect. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. I don't like this portion that much, but it is what it is. So now what I'll use is orange and just get a little bit more color. I won't go this time on the middle, just go on the outside. Okay, doesn't look too bad. This is the one mistake that I've done with the black. As you saw, it sort of started to drip down, and that's why it causes like this, but it is what it is now. But make sure you don't do that. We haven't used green. Let's go with turquoise again. Let's see what's happening now. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. How about some blue? So you can see you can play around. Green. And yellow. Okay, that's quite good, and that black is now a little bit more lost under all this color, so that doesn't look too bad. Now we could use some accent here, maybe from a little bit more black, or let's see the silver one more time. Let's see now with the yellow. Okay, so the black now is pretty much almost gone, and I just use black one more time. And I think that should be it. You can play around like this all day. Okay, I'm going to leave it now as it is to dry out, and once it's dry, then we're going to come back to the lathe. So it's roughly 1 hour later, and the paint had time to dry off a little bit, so we can hollow this out using a ball gouge. Let's take off the plug out. And let's drill a depth hole. So to this first mark. And the following. So I'm down to the depth hole, and now I just get this out a little bit.
I know a lot of turners like to use a parting tool to sever the fibers here, and or slightly to go in, and then you'll have a place to rest your bevel here. But this is the time, so this isn't for a client or anything, so this is just to make up for those rattle cans, so to use them. So this doesn't have any particular purpose, so but still you don't want to ruin this. So this is a great moment to practice entry cut. So just be aware where you are. So close the flute, raise the handle up, slowly enter the wood. Once you're in the wood, you can open up the gouge and proceed forward. And one more cut. Nice and easy. And slowly through middle. Put the finish on, what I'll do is using a black marker and just paint the rim here. I maybe need to stop the lathe. What this will do is sort of encapsulate the color here, make it like a picture frame. There we go. So that's looking quite lovely. You see, almost immediately looks different on the top here. And I'll use this white oil from Steinert. This won't change or yellow the maple, so it will stay bright like this. And you can use clear lacquer, spray lacquer, like in a can, if you want to seal this, and it will probably be easier, but I don't have it at hand, so I'll just use on the wood this white oil, so you can see it doesn't yellow it as much. Like I said in the beginning, I used a lot of these acrylic paints from the can, but later I discovered the Americana outdoor acrylic paints, and they are much more durable. You can wash them once they are completely dry, and they won't like dissolve or anything, so much better stuff. This is it. So you can see the outside, really nice white maple with the yellow oil, with the white oil, doesn't yellow as much, and I still have to put the regular oil on, and you can see here the bleed through of color, and I'll explain about that. Now you can see the top here, really nice, and look at all these colors that we use, and this has a little texture to it, so it's nice. It's not like flat, it has a texture or reliefs, so I'm really digging this. So really like that kind of stuff instead of like a glass smooth surface, especially with the paint like this. And now a few tips. If you're going to do something like this, it pays off to seal the surface before the paint. So what that will do for you, and I recommend shellac, that for me at least is the best, and it's been using for ages for stuff like this. And Now, if you put shellac before the paint, it will prevent the capillary action of the paint, of the wood, and the paint won't bleed through, like you can see here and here a little bit as well. So that really helps out, and you won't have that issue. But again, I don't do this often, and if I'm going to do something like this, then I would definitely use some sort of a sealer, probably shellac. So, and you can see the little trick with the black marker here really ties the, or sort of frames the colors on top, instead of like having a white strip here. So yeah, and hopefully you like this and you'll try something for yourself like this, and see you in the next video.